Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this course. So in this video we'll be learning the HTML tutorial. So basically HTML is the standard markup language for web pages. With HTML you can create your own website and the good thing of HTML is that HTML is easy to learn. You will enjoy it. Now, easy learning with HTML. So this is a type of code in HTML. Don't worry if you don't understand it. We'll be understanding each and everything from basic to advanced. This course will cover everything like from the basic like HTML tag, doc type HTML, head, title, from these tags to advanced tags. So this is just an example. This is how a HTML code is written. Now we'll also be seeing some HTML examples. We'll also be, doing some these kind of exercises, some quizzes, and we'll be covering everything. So don't worry. So even if you don't know anything about HTML right now, don't worry. At the end of this course, you will be a pro in HTML. So let us begin with our HTML introduction. So HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. So all the websites you see, HTML is used. So see, basically there are three things: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So HTML is basically your foundation of the website, how the website is structured, basically the infrastructure of the website, that is done by HTML. Now coming to CSS and JavaScript. So CSS basically is used to make your site look beautiful. What colors are supposed to be added, what kind of font should be there, what should be the background color, and different things. So CSS helps your website to look beautiful. Now coming to JavaScript. JavaScript is basically for all the logic behind your site. Like if you press a button on some site and some action happens or something else appears up, so all the action that is to be taken place and all the logic that is involved in your website, that is done through JavaScript. Now coming back to HTML, you will have a separate course for CSS and JavaScript. That will be in a complete web development course. In this course we will be learning HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext Markup Language, this is the full form of HTML. So HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. HTML describes the structure of a web page. HTML consists of a series of elements. HTML elements tell the browser how to display the content. HTML elements label pieces of content such as this is a heading, this is a paragraph, this is a link, etc. etc. So this is a simple HTML document. This is the basic. So there is doc type, HTML head, title. We'll be covering each and every tag of HTML. So let us first start with what you see, doc type HTML. This line, first line. So let us see the doc type HTML tag declaration defines that this document is an HTML5 document. So there are different versions of HTML, but as of now we use HTML5. It is most prominently used in the world. So this you add in the starting of your code. So what happens, it recognizes that this is a HTML5 document. Now comes our HTML element. The HTML element is the root element of an HTML page. Now coming to head. The head element contains meta information about the HTML page. We'll be discussing what is meta information and different things. For now, let's leave it. The title element specifies a title for the HTML page which is shown in the browser title bar or in page tab. Anything that comes up in the browser section, different tabs when you open. So the title for the tab, that is for title. The body element defines the document's body and is a container for all the visible contents such as headings, paragraphs, images, hyperlinks, tables, lists, etc. etc. Now, the H1 element defines a large heading and the P element defines a paragraph. So let us now understand. So the first line we wrote, doc type HTML, this is for recognizing HTML5 document. Now we begin our HTML tag with this. We put our tag in such kind of bracket and see, we start HTML with this is the beginning tag. And how do we have to close the HTML tag? We just have to put a slash and then we have to write HTML. So you need to be whenever you start something, so you need to end it also. Obviously there are some tags that are open and you don't need to end them. We'll be discussing about them too. So this is a HTML tag and this is HTML. So in HTML there are two portions. One is head. So head consists of this page. Now in the head tag, you get a tag that is known as title. Between title, see, you wrote title and then you wrote page title. So page title is basically what will be displayed on the title section, the tab of your browser, and then you will close the title. Once you have written the title, you will close the title. Now if your head is complete, you have to close the head. So for closing the head tag, you will use slash head and you will close it. Now our head element of our website is complete. Now let's come to the body. So when you open a body tag, you also need to end the body tag. So we'll be now discussing about headings and paragraph. So if you type h1 my first heading, so there are different kinds of heading. We have a special lecture on headings. We'll be discussing all types of headings there. So h1 means large heading and p means paragraph. So let us see. If we write such a code, we'll get this kind of output on our website. So this is all the code written and this is all the output. So left side is input and right side is output. Now let us understand what is an HTML element. So an HTML element is defined by a start tag, some content and an end tag. So h1 heading 1, it is a tag name. So first you write the tag name, then you write the content in between the tag, and then you close the tag. So what happens is that the HTML element is everything from the start tag to the end tag. Now there are two tags, these are just two examples, h1 and paragraph. So as you have seen how a paragraph is written and how a heading is written. Now there are some start tag and element content and end tag. So in h1 you wrote my first heading. So the start tag was h1, element content was my first heading, and end tag was h1 with a slash. Now same with paragraph. So paragraph, heading 1, and mostly, so usually all the elements contain start tag and end tag, but whereas this is one tag, br, that is break, so it has no end tag. Once you put br somewhere, it only has a start tag and it does not have a end tag. So you will be seeing how we can use br over somewhere break, right? Now coming to web browsers. The purpose of a web browser, Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Safari, you could have a browser where you search everything, or where you access all the internet, all the websites. So it is needed to read HTML documents and display them correctly. A browser does not display the HTML tags but uses them to determine how to display the document. So in the browser, you will be seeing only the output, but all the input you will have to write in a text file. Now, this is index.html, right? So this is heading as we use the h1 tag, and this is paragraph. So heading is written in bold and in larger size, and paragraph is written in smaller size and it is not bold. Now coming to HTML page structure. So let us visualize how a page structure looks like. So first we need to start with the HTML, then comes our head. Inside head, we have to write title, and then we have to write the page title, and then we have to close it. Now if our head part is complete, let's close the head tag. Also coming to body. So what you need to do, here is the body, and here is h1 tag and paragraph tag, and this is another paragraph, body, etc, etc, right? So let us just copy this code and I'll you know uh, make run through VS Code. So what you need to do, so first you need, so either you can open it in a text file or you could use VS Code. Here I'll paste my code, and now what I have to do, this is my code, this is my heading, and this is paragraph, this is another paragraph. I have to save this, and then what I have to do, I have to double click on my Mac, and then here I have to go open with live server. So this a website is open, this is a heading, this is a paragraph, this is another paragraph. So this is how a website is made. Now coming to HTML history. So HTML history, HTML had different versions, like in 1989, these kinds of the versions were there. In 2008, first HTML5 public draft was rolled out, and then we have the latest version in 2017, that is HTML 5.2. This tutorial will follow HTML5 standard, right? So this was the basic introduction of HTML. We have learned how a HTML page structure works, what are the web browsers, and what are HTML elements. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll be discussing HTML editors. So I'll meet you in the next lecture.